Hey YouTube, this is Christian, and you're watching Retro Remakes. This is a series about me remaking assets and scenes from games that I used to play as a kid. This first episode is going to be about the Egg Bomber tank from Sonic Advance 2. Let's get into it. So, this project took me about 4.5 hours. I used Nomad Sculpt on my 2021 M1 iPad Pro with 8 gigs of RAM. Alright, full transparency here. Sonic's kind of the reason I got into video games. I saw my cousin playing Sonic Adventure 1 on his GameCube, and it had me hooked. I didn't have a console at that point, but my dad was a car mechanic, and he went to junkyards a lot for parts. After one of the times he went out, he found a Game Boy Advance in a car for me, and he brought it home. That night, we also went to Circuit City, and I saw Sonic Advance 2 just sitting on the shelf there, and I was like, oh my god. There it is. Actually, I didn't even know that Sonic was on the Game Boy Advance at that point. But I asked my parents for it, and they got it for me. And ever since then, it's been one of the games that I've replayed the most. Like, I played the first one a little bit. I played the third one a lot, too. But the second one is always the one that I go to when I want to play a game. And yeah, the art style of the game influences my art even to today. I drew Sonic a lot when I was younger. Eventually, I picked up 3D as I got older, and then the idea to make this popped into my head. So yeah, as you can see, I blocked out all the basic shapes. I like to use simple shapes in all my art, honestly, to kind of, like I said, simplify things, make them easier to understand. And luckily, the tank in particular is basically like all basic shapes. So it was really fun to cut those out and try those in 3D. Now I'm making the dome-shaped windshield. I love the way this looks. This was a lot of fun to do. Yeah. Naming my layers, editing some stuff, making the chair. Yeah, I'm relatively new to 3D. I did very basic stuff in Blender. Then I discovered Nomad from someone in a comments section once. And yeah, it blew me away with what it could do. You can render out images on the iPad. I never thought that was possible. Granted, now we have things like Octane that render stuff out even better. But yeah. Anyway, I'm doing the mufflers right now, as you can see, shaping them up. These were a lot of fun to make. The tube tool is really convenient for this. The tube tool is really convenient for this app. Cutting out the shape to get that a similar look to the tank on the from the reference image. I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks when light hits a cut in metal like that. I'm doing the same thing with the shield here on the side, cutting that out. And yeah, now we're finally getting into the materials. I wanted to make the red like matte because I thought that would look nice in contrast with the more metallic part of the upper part of the shield. Making a little spike. Here we go. When you mask and extrude, sometimes like you can get like messy edges when you do that on round shapes. So if you want to get clean shapes, make sure you mask over the entire object and then cut out shapes afterward. Now I'm working on the chair. Yeah, I wanted this chair to kind of be reminiscent of 80s styles restaurants. At least that's what I have in my head. Yeah, cutting out those shapes, cleaning up some edges here. But yeah, like I said, this game is one of my favorites. Now that Nintendo added Game Boy Advance to the online subscription thing, hopefully they bring the Sonic Advance games over. I'd love to play those on my Switch OLED. Yeah, cleaning up the cannon. More materials. I like having slightly different levels of roughness in different parts of my object, just so like it kind of creates more visual interest. Here we go. Now I'm finishing off the rim around the windshield. I tried to mask and extrude, but that just led to a messy shape. I tried to work with it. It didn't work out. It looked too gross, so I just decided to use the tube tool again. Coming in clutch. It's really great. I love the way that windshield looks. And yeah, still going through and painting. I forgot to add this little part in originally. It's like a little box that the muffler comes out from. So yeah, like I said, Nomad is amazing software. You guys got to try it out. And yeah, here I come using an alpha image I made in another program to try and cut out the. Oh yeah, that's weird. That glitched out for a minute. But yeah, I use an alpha effect to try and cut out the shapes of these ridges here. And yeah, it came out a little bit messy. I think the geometry was a little messed up. So I had to remesh it. Trying to clean those up, but it still looks a little messy, so I went back and made a new one, and that looks great. Made a new alpha. And yeah, I used it subtracted there to get that shape. Yeah, oh man. Like I said, Nomad is great. Here we go. Going through the layers. Oh yeah, here I just flipped it over so I can mirror it. Cleaning some stuff up. Oh, man. But yeah. And it's really beginner friendly, I think, because like Blender complicates stuff. But with Nomad, it's all about sculpting, and like it's on the iPad, so it's accessible to everyone. So I really think you should give it a try. Anyway, I'm cutting out the ridges in the seat, adding some details that you definitely won't see from a distance, but I wanted to add them anyway because I was having fun. I tried to like make a high res model and then copy the textures over, but because the ridges were so deep, it created glitches when I copied the UV map. So I just kept the higher res model. I'm just making a little, kind of like a little seam that goes around the edge. Wanted to make it nice and rubbery. I can't remember where I saw that. I'm pretty sure my dad works on cars, like I said, so he I've seen seats have these nice shiny seams, so I wanted to bring that over to this piece. Just copying that over. Yep, everything's looking nice. And yeah, I love the way this looks. Oh, yeah, we cut out here, but I obviously made a little stripe there. Now I'm working at the bottom of the chair. Use symmetry, just trying to get this nice retro shape of a seat. Yeah, just using the clay tool, adding on, smoothing it out. It's a slightly monotonous process, but I think it's really appealing in the end. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, I want to sit on that chair. But yeah, let me see. Cutting out the edges. I'm masking out off that area so I can cut it. So I can color in the matte, a light red color. I'm pretty sure like somewhere in this process that coloring gets lost because I tried to combine everything together and like all the texture detail got lost. So I didn't even end up keeping that. So that's a shame. But at least you guys can see it now. Making those seams again. Yep. Oh, that freaking tube tool is a gift from God. I love this tool. Yeah, this is the first time I've actually like went and looked back at my art process and tried to explain it, and honestly, I'm freaking out. But I'm trying to get better at it. So go easy on me in the comments. But yeah, here we go. Just finishing up the coloring here. Like I wanted to make the console look really nice and spend a lot of time on it, but again, you wouldn't see it from like a regular angle. You're not going to see it in the final render. Oh, but I wanted to like make a dashboard that had all these buttons on it and stuff, but I didn't have the time. Well, I had the time, I was just too lazy. I'm cutting out a floor mat here by masking and extruding. I was again going to go into too much detail. Yeah, a tip for when you're masking out like stuff with the what's called the select mask tool. If you don't want it to go through the object, make sure you select only on transparent faces, or Yeah, I'll click edit that later. Yeah, just coloring, doing some more coloring, decimating. It looks pretty gross. I decided not to decimate it and just keep that matte like that. And now I just color the console black, which I think has a really nice look to it. I come over here. I made sure that the console fabric didn't like leak out into the color of the metal on the outside. Thought that was a nice touch. Oh yeah, look at that baby. Oh my god. I'm not one to usually be proud of myself, but today's that day. And yep. Okay. Unfortunately, I forgot to record myself making the tires. So here's a quick look at the final render. But here, I re-recorded myself making a tire as an example. I learned how to make this tire from Southern GFX's video on making tires, and I couldn't have done this without him. I tried. This is actually the second model that I did for the Ed Bomber tank. I like to redo things to try and get better and reiterate on them and improve. But yeah, like the first one had a really plain-looking tire, kind of like this one. But in Southern GFX's video, he talks about radial symmetry. And using that to create tread, it feels so good. I can't describe it to you. It's so amazing. And yeah, you guys will see that in a minute. Just cleaning up the edges, softening them up. And here we go. Oh my God, making the tread. Oh God, this is my favorite part. It looks so cool in the end. I never thought I'd like making tires, but man, that came out too good. Anyway, back to the previous model. Just adjusting some stuff, fixing some inconsistencies. Yeah, here was where I was going to have a little screen that would. I even made I even made like a dashboard, like UI or something that would have. I wanted to make a hologram or something, but again, this is I scope creep really bad. That's one thing you guys are gonna learn about me as you get to know me, is that I scope creep really bad. I get an idea and it just balloons and eventually it becomes ridiculously pointless. And yeah, oh yeah. Well, now you guys get to see the tires that I made. I'm making the poles that connect them to the undercarriage. I don't know too much. Like I guess my dad's a mechanic. I know, and I feel like this is blasphemy, and I should know more about how cars work, but I don't. I really should, but I don't. Now I'm making the headlights. Just really quick, I made the light by making the material unlit, always unlit. Testing out, seeing how it looks with the post processing on. Now I'm just painting in the details for the and now I'm just painting in the details for that black and yellow pattern. I think this came out looking really nice. There we go. And there it is, everybody. The final render. Look at that. I'm really proud of this. And I hope you guys enjoyed my process. I look forward to more sculpts in the future, and make sure you to like and subscribe. You guys have a good day. Bye.